Welcome back to Cocktails and Classics. I'm Dylan, and joining me, as always, is Ben. And this week, we're not doing Sin City.
We're not. No.
The exact
Curveball.
opposite. I believe, both took our eldest kids, to their first movie theater experience. So this week, we're doing Toy Story 5. And we will have to find a double feature that fits this bill, but
we can find something, I'm sure.
But yeah, the latest installment in the Toy Story
franchise,
Pin trilogy. No, yeah, franchise. It's literally just came out. I don't know, June 19th. So, we're doing a review within the first couple weeks. Who are we? Toy Story 4 is the story of Woody, Buzz, Jessie, and the rest of the gang's jobs are challenged when they're introduced. What?
Toy Story 4?
Sorry, 5.
Leave it in. Leave it in.
I'm going to be all wonky because we also watched...
I know he edits just to make me look stupid. Leave it in.
Well, we also we watched Toy Story 3 on the Friday prior to gear up for it. So I might just be all out of whack of things that happened in this movie and the other one. So we'll see how people can really call me out in the comments.
Dylan watched Toy Story Best and Last. It's kind of like Jackass, where it's a whole new movie, but it's really just mostly clips from the old movies they did.
So Woody, Buzz, Jessie, and the rest of the gang's jobs are challenged when they're introduced to electronics, a new threat to playtime. It currently sits at a 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb, a 3.7 out of 5 on Letterboxd, 92% on the tomato meter, and 95% on the popcorn meter. So that's like the fan score on Rotten Tomato, and people are loving it on there. All the weirdos that use Rotten Tomatoes to leave reviews, but it stars, as classic Toy Story, as one does. It stars Tom Hanks as Woody, Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear, Joan Cusack as Jessie, Ben's, who I texted Ben. I was like, did you only take him to see Toy Story 5 because Conan O'Brien's in the movie?
No, actually what you said was, are you going to take your son to see this because Conan O'Brien is in it? And I said, correction, I already took him to see it. Conan was just an added bonus. We got home and my wife was like, I was trying to figure out who it was, and it wasn't until the different animation scene when he had the hair that I was like, oh my god, it's Conan.
Yeah, he does kind of do a good job of not necessarily sounding quite like Conan the whole time.
Yeah.
But Conan plays Smarty Pants, which is a potty training device. Greta Lee plays Lilypad, which is like the iPad villain. You have Scarlet.
Not a villain. We'll talk about it, but
Scarlet Spears voices Bonnie. Craig Robinson is in there as Atlas. Kristen Shaw as Trixie again. Tony Hale as Forky. Bonnie Hunt as Dolly. Oh, God. Maddie Matheson is in there as Dr. Nutcase.
Yep, very briefly. Yeah.
Obviously, Wallace Shawn as Rex. Blake Clark as Slinky Dog. I will say, this one I don't know how I was going to word this, but it's a Jessie movie. Well, I'll kind of say that.
It's if you'll people watching this can go back. You can see the look on my face when we said starring Tom Hanks as Woody, and I went, Is it though? Tom Hanks I would love to be Tom Hanks in this movie.
Because
that man
he got paid
for a day's work.
Yeah.
A day's work.
I literally, after watching the movie, I was like, I feel like they just threw Woody in there because it's a Toy Story movie. He's in there to get ragged on for being old and bald, and that's basically the point of the movie.
Hey, toys. you. All right.
um,
It's
but
bad
yeah, it
enough
was.
I hear it from my son when he goes, "Daddy, where's your hair?" Now I have to hear it from movies. My son
You
sits
just,
there and points to my beard and goes, "Oh, do I get my beard when my hair leaves?"
you just need a brown
No.
marker, brown Sharpie.
Yeah, I know. I need to fold Giuliani and just get some shoe polish up in there. Start sweating streaks.
um, but I will say, so obviously, if you have not seen the movie, it's about to be spoiler laden. So
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe check out the movie before you can see it in theaters. I'm sure it'll be on Disney Plus in the next few weeks if you have not seen it. So the premise of the movie and I feel like how it's marketed is it's always been like tech versus toys, like, and in the movie, Bonnie's having trouble making friends because she still plays with toys, and a lot of the kids and most of the kids are all on screens and iPads and this like Lilypad. And so her parents give her a lily pad, and she starts to not play with the toys as much, causing this whole kickoff of things happening. And she gets this like lily pad iPad that tries to like get her friends through her dance class and all this. But I will say that like Jessie being the main character, I feel like was honestly the best choice because Jessie has the most like in-depth backstory out of any character in these movies. Because like, Woody and Buzz, they're just Andy's toys,
Which, okay, is weird to me that Woody as a toy established in Toy Story 2
That
would
he's
have
this
been
much
made
older toy.
about the same time as Jessie, and yet Jessie has like this multiple iterations of her life, and then Woody's just like, nope, just Andy's, never anything before. It's like, well, this doesn't really make sense.
Well, I wonder if he's like, well, no, because in the Toy Story 2, he's like sought after because he is a vintage
He's
collectible.
vintage, yeah.
Well, I wonder if he's like a hand-me-down from his parents or something. I don't know.
I don't know, but it is just one of those things where it's like, oh, yeah. Jessie has all these experiences with previous kids, but Woody is just like, no, he doesn't have anything, nothing at all.
Well, Jessie only has the one kid. Like she has Emily, and then Andy,
Yeah,
and then now she's with Bonnie. But it is like her whole backstory with Emily is like so fleshed out and like developed. I feel like, whereas yeah, it's like the others. The other thing in this movie is this Buzz Lightyear army of high tech buzzes that just feels like it ends to a mean for them to help escape from the truck at the end.
yeah. They really just like, it kind of took me out of it every time it was like we're in the middle of this story and now cut away to the uh castaway buzzes.
The tribe of buzzes that
Yeah.
are like about to attack this family camping because they took one of the buses.
Yeah.
I mean, it was funny, but like at the end of the movie, I was
No,
like,
it
that
was
really served no purpose to the
yeah, it was
plot
I
at
mean,
all.
like you said, it was enjoyable.
Yeah,
It was kind of nice, but it was just like this just seems like we're cutting away from the main story, and
like we
we
had to
need
fill
to
an hour and a
explain
half.
we need to explain why buzzes are here, but also yeah, we wrote this script and it's like it's a great 40-minute script. We need to fill time. How do we do it? Well, we have all these buzzes. Where do they come from? We got it. All right.
A cargo container crashes. They're stuck on an island. They build a boat
A
to
cargo
escape.
container washes ashore, which automatically makes no sense. It's a cargo container.
It's
That
heavy.
bitch sinking.
Well, it's like then the only thing that they do is they show up and they ride all the horses, and then they go and help save Lily from the like donation
Yeah.
truck. It's like,
Yeah.
and then they have the after credit scene. That's about it, you know. So it was really like, oh, this is kind of funny, you know. Like, all right, well, it doesn't really fit in the plot, and yeah, like you said, like you're cutting away from like, like there was one that was really jarring, and it might have been like, I think it was when they're playing. Maybe it was at the top of the stairs or something or whatever, but they're like, it does that like animated like drawn scene where they're playing, and then like it leaves the play session and goes to the buzzes, and then
Yeah.
like cuts to the other stuff, and I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
that's a weird pacing here.
Yeah. How do you Okay. As someone who went to school wanting to do 2D animation and who's done, obviously I know about 3D modeling and everything along those lines. Growing up and seeing kind of the the leaving of 2D into all primarily 3D, especially in terms of Disney features.
Yeah.
What do you think of the way Pixar's doing things now with this kind of 3D but then drawn over style? I can't decide if I like it. I saw they advertised for their next feature,
The
and
which one?
no, the
No. Oh.
Gato, the
Oh
cat,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it's all like that 3D, but then it looks very kind of line art over, but the line
Yeah.
art is also just very kind of scratchy, and I I don't I don't I don't know how I feel about it. Part of me is like, oh, it's very cool and it's innovative to see, almost kind of bridging back to 2D. And then the other part of me is like, it doesn't look clean. If you're going to go back to 2D, make it look clean.
I mean, personally, I as long as it fits fits the whole style. Like, I didn't mind it in this one where it's all the Pixar like
Yeah, and it's
clean.
supposed to look well, even like when it cuts to that, it's supposed to lok like crayon and kind
Yeah,
of
like
drawn
kid,
over.
and it's good to like differentiate, because I feel like sometimes when you watch, I mean, I don't know. I was gonna say like, so, like sometimes when you watch it, you'd have like the hands and they're doing things, but I kind of liked it in this one because it differentiates like the play session from like what's
Yeah,
happening and stuff. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I don't mind. Like, I mean, Pixar films are fucking beautiful for what they are. I mean, you look at anything Disney and Pixar have done in the last, I don't know, I mean, maybe 20 years at this point, it still holds up. It still looks so good. And they've gotten so good at lighting now
Oh, it's
that,
nuts.
and
It's so insane, man. It's
like,
so nuts. We had an animator from Pixar that came in and did a talk at Eastern for what was one of the ones that came out? It wasn't like one of the franchisee
was it
ones.
Coco?
No, it was
No.
before then.
Okay,
This
okay.
would have been 2013 or 14.
Because Coco was one of the first ones where it was like, holy shit!
No,
Like, there's so
no.
this is
This was
crazy.
Good Dinosaur.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they showed us what, like, obviously, knowing 3ds Max and the daylight systems and things like that they use to generate, they showed us all of the lighting and stuff that went into it, which was insane. But oh my god, The Good Dinosaur, for that movie, they completely redesigned how 3D animation does water,
Mm-hmm.
and especially clouds. And
Interesting.
just seeing like the daylight water and everything was just like, this is fucking insane. If you guys didn't like style it, if you didn't have like the Pixar characters there, you could have shown a render and been like, this is just a photograph. You could have shown the video and been like, this is just video we took on an island somewhere. And I'd have been like, yeah, I believe it.
I mean, that's how I feel about like is it Frozen 2, I think? I've watched a lot of Frozen 2 lately with Isla being obsessed with it. But
Yeah.
Frozen 2, like the water in that just looks
Mm-hmm.
so good. And I'm like, wow. Not something you ever like think about. Like watching this movie, even Toy Story 5, there's the scene where Bonnie, they go to the ice cream store and then she gets upset when the girls like start making fun of her in the chat. And she's like sitting in there and it kind of like shows her and like holding the lily pad and stuff. And there's like stuff in the crack on the seat, like junk in the like that kids would leave
Yeah.
in the car seat. And I was like, I want to be the guy that like that's your job in the animation
But
studio.
It is crazy though, after like seeing this, coming home and watching Toy Story 1
Oh yeah,
and being like
that was cutting edge animation at that
I
time.
know, but looking at it and being like, you know, with like a one person and a decent amount of time, they could make this now as one person.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. And then you look at what they're doing now and you're like, this is just, it's like watching a student film and then seeing what a real film is, like what a real studio can do with it.
You know, having watched Toy Story 3 recently in preparation for this movie.
All right, I'm about to say something crazy.
Oh,
I never saw 3 or 4.
Ben, let me tell you.
Really?
How did this movie make you feel emotionally?
So, all right, I'm going to say this. We got the trilogy on DVD for my mom for Christmas one year because she really wanted it. We didn't go see it. It's not like we went and saw it in theaters, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, like, it was one of those things where it's like, it was a Christmas gift, so I'm not going to open this to watch the movie. Especially, like, even when asking my mom, she's like, no, I just kind of want to watch it by myself because she knew she would be emotional about it.
Yeah.
And then it was like she never watched it. And so at that point, it was just like, well, I'm not just going to open this without her.
Yeah.
And then I moved away, and now I'm like, I know I need to watch it at some point, but, like, yeah, I don't know when I'm going to watch it, whatever. And then when 4 came out, I was just like, nah, I don't know.
I mean, we're old. We didn't have kids at the point. Like,
yeah. No, this movie for sure. There were moments where I'm not ashamed to say, as a grown man, I was just trying not to cry like a little girl.
Oh man, I'm in there. I'm like trying to act tough, and I'm like, got my popcorn napkins. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
But no, dude. If this one gets you,
oh,
dude,
I know that. That's why I haven't watched 3. Because I know it's gonna just be
because the end of 3
brutal.
Is
Well, I just I have I know a bit of what happens in that, but like I had a conversation because it came out. 3 came out right after our senior, like the summer after.
I think it was like
our
2013, so it would have been.
I thought it was 12,
freshman year of college, but hold on, we can find out. Toy Story 3 came out in 2010. So
really,
so it was like junior year of high school, sophomore year of high school.
I thought it was later than that,
but I wasn't really watching Disney movies when I was.
Well, I mean, I
wasn't
wasn't either, but I remember talking to one of my best friends in high school, his mom, who's like, I can't watch that movie. She's like, she's like, you'll understand one day. She's like, but for me, you got to realize that first movie came out when you guys were 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then the second one came out, around the same, like, you guys kind of grew up the same way Andy did, and now all of the things of you guys getting old enough to be leaving and all of these things, they hit much different when you're a parent who's facing it down, facing it down more than it does when you're a kid who's just, you guys see it from Andy's perspective, but we see it from the point that we've watched Andy grow up this whole time.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know if I'm emotionally ready for that. And then I just haven't done it.
Oh, that's me and Hannah. Like after watching the 5th one, like that night we were both like crying. We're like, oh yeah, my god, we're like, they're gonna grow up. They're never gonna be this young again. Oh my
dude,
god.
just and I say this as someone who's child is only like a year older, dude, it's insane the amount of times that I'm just like, my son will do something and I'm just in awe of it, and then being like, I still remember this little potato that we brought home that literally, was just every little thing, and you're like, this is insane. This is nuts. I remember, our with Grayson not being able to really, he has like his speech problems and everything like that, and now it's just you'll be sitting there talking to him, and he says something that I'm just like, dude, you couldn't communicate, and now the things you say are just ridiculous, and yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've watched parts of 4. I don't know if I've watched it all the way.
I'll be honest, I never had an interest in Ford, just as everything was advertised as framing it around like it was basically the Scrubs season 9 of Toy Story is the way it was like pitched, where it's like, we're gonna focus on all new characters, and it's like, I don't want that. I want to watch that. I want to see the characters I like and enjoy. I have no
Well,
interest in watching Forky. That doesn't do much for
well,
me.
but Forky's not necessarily the main character of the movie.
Of 4?
Yeah, it's definitely Woody.
All of the advertisement make it seem like it's about this spork.
Well, I don't want to spoil it, but like when
What?
they go on like a road trip and like Forky gets lost or like stolen, and then like Woody like tries to save him, and like that's the whole thing, like. And
Yeah.
so it like takes place in like it's like an antique mall or like a vintage store or something.
Okay.
Most of it, but yeah. I mean,
I
there's
assume it concludes with Woody leaving.
yeah, and like Bo
I mean-
Peep. Bo Peep is like I don't know,
mean,
like a AWOL toy. Like it's kind of essentially what like Woody, like what you see in this movie, where like they're
Yeah.
you know the whatever lost toys or whatever ownerless toys, that sort of thing. But yeah, man, no, Toy Story 3, the like ending of how the toys become Bonnie's, is like fucking devastating.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that. I know I'll watch it at some point, but I'm just.
I mean, and then in this one, like just the like, I mean, I know like our kids aren't technically old enough to like be at this point where it's like, oh, kids are just like inherently mean and like rude, and it's hard to make friends, and like friends that are the same like interest as you, like they don't quite get that at this age, but like
Yeah,
I'm just thinking of like when it gets to
Kids-
that point, and I'm like, oh god.
kids my son's age are just like, my son is very like he doesn't seem very social. Like, in fact, even during like parent teacher conferences, the teachers were like, yeah, Grayson's advanced, like he's intelligent, like he's ready to move on. We try to get him to try to interact more with the other kids, because it's like sometimes he looks down on them because he thinks of them not at the same maturity level as him. But then every time you drop him off, it's like Norm at Cheers, where everyone's just like, "Oh, Grayson's here!" It's like,
It's
okay,
him. It's him.
it's like, yeah, it's one of those things where like it's like Grayson's just like, I don't really care, and everyone thinks he's cooler because of it. It's like, oh, okay, all right, man.
Yeah, I just
No,
don't-
I think it was when so spoiler for obviously Toy Story 5, when Jessie finds the like lunchbox, and she's like, this is too new to be Emily's, and like she opens it up and she reads the letter that's like to Jessie, and then I was just like, man, I'm welling up now just talking about it. I'm sitting here like, Ben, laugh, don't you cry, don't cry. You're on camera, you.
well, yeah, Jessie says something along the lines of like, we're just toys, we don't matter.
Yeah.
and then
And then she
proceeds
comes to
to
find out that, like, yeah, Emily named her daughter after, her favorite toy growing up. It was just like, damn,
yeah, she sees
that's
sh-
rough. That's a rough one.
she goes to the tree. If you've seen Toy Story 2 and you're listening, um there's the tree where Jessie like is playing with Emily, with the tire on there, and they go there. And honestly, I mean, like, the whole movie takes place in this location. It was kind of
Yeah.
like crazy that they were like, all right, and now Emily's going to go back to, or Jesse's going to go back to Emily's house. And I was like fully expecting Emily to like be a mom now or something and be there. And then I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, it's, that's cool. And then when they did the Jessie was here, and she's like, I didn't write that. And then they find the lunchbox, and I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the moments that really got me.
Yeah, that one for me was the one where I was just like 100%. Grayson did not want to be in like one chair, so we were like passing him back and forth, and then I'm just like sitting there with him on my lap, like trying not to let him like feel me
Don't drown on my
sobbing,
tears.
trying to fight the urge to just like grab him and squeeze him as hard as I can, and also trying to hold tears where he's not like, why is Daddy moving so much?
Well, and it's funny the way that like things hit you differently too, because like, obviously there is the aspect of like we grew up with Toy Story. Like we've seen these. Like Hannah said, her first movie she ever saw in theaters was Toy Story. So she saw that a couple times in theaters because she like loved it. And it's like you just said with your mom, where oh, part of that experience is like, oh, I see myself growing up and I like losing this childhood, but then at the same time, like, now as a father, you're like, oh man, now my kids are gonna grow up, and like, yeah, it is just kind of gut wrenching. Where you're like, damn, like,
I mean,
time,
even the
the
things
devil.
like, even the things like the Conan's
Oh
character,
yeah,
and
when
it's just
she's
like,
like, she did it without me. She doesn't need me to go
yeah,
bathroom anymore. You're like, no.
yeah. Well, I just think of like, we all had it, the play school, or not the play school. What the heck was it? Whatever the little playmat with the arch, with the
Oh yeah,
piano that sings the songs.
yeah, for like tummy time and stuff.
Every parent's just like, they know that song. They know the Purple Monkey and the Bubblegum Tree song. Everybody, any parent will know that. And then like, yeah, I think about it now and I'm just like, never gonna see that again. My kids have outgrown it. That's how that's how that piano feels. I'm gonna see my kids walking and being like, they don't need me to lay and play anymore. They can lay and move without me. I'm just like, dang, that one hurts. Gets you thinking about the toys that like your kids had, the little sensory toys, and it's just like, no, they don't need them anymore.
I mean, it's even like we went through my daughter's closet the other day, and we were like cleaning out stuff to like donate, and it was like, all right, pick out 3 shirts out of here. Like, which ones do you want to keep, or which one don't you want to keep? And just like some of them, and I was like, she's getting rid of that shirt, like that one, really?
Yeah.
But there's like, I don't know. We did started like we've started to just like put like a like some clothes that we have the memories and the pictures of, like those going in the bin, and she can have those when she's older if she wants to put her kids in it, whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
We kept a couple things that we said we wanted to look to see to getting like the sweatshirts or something made.
oh yeah.
We kept some of those like things that we really remember them. Yeah. Those like outfits where you're like, I vividly remember them wearing this thing, or and we said too, we're gonna do uh like the uh every year we do like Christmas pajamas for
Mm-hmm.
the family. And I said, like, as the kids grow out of theirs, like, we'll keep them. We'll maybe like cut some like squares in that out of, and we'll start putting them together. And then, by the time the kids are old enough, maybe we'll have like a tree skirt that we can make out of just like the things that we had, that we got every year as like a Christmas thing for us as a family. But um yeah, those types of things where you're just like, they're outgrowing stuff. That hit hard. to be like, oh man, yeah, this is brutal. This is tough. Kids movies shouldn't make me feel like that now. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I just yeah.
I'm not
I
about
feel
it.
like
Also, as a parent who lets his child have tablet time, limited tablet time for educational games. Yeah, what is this movie just like? You're a shitty parent.
well, no, it's not saying that. I mean, Bonnie's parents at
But
the one point was like literally just tell like you can talk to us about anything. Like,
yeah, no, I will say the nice thing is like having that feeling, but then knowing uh, my son's just so he had no problem being like, all right, dude, you're gonna play with the tablet for a little bit, yeah, and then he's just like, I'm done. Puts it down and he'll walk away and go to playing with whatever toys or things he wants to do. And so, I mean, he's pretty good about being aware enough of his feelings to be like, no, I'm done. I'm good. To that extent, I did read where the director was like, did emphasize Lilypad is not the villain. She's uh she is the next stage in Bonnie's life, designed like a toy to help kids move forward, but with different skills. She just doesn't have the experience like Jessie, who's full of experience, but not necessarily prepared for what's next.
oh,
I was like, oh,
yeah. Well, I
all right.
mean, especially like towards the end, like she does help Blaze and Bonnie meet
Yeah.
and stuff. Like she does have that like
She
character
has her redemption
development.
arc.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like she's not necessarily the bad guy. I mean, at the beginning, it's kind of like Buzz and Woody essentially in Toy
Yeah.
Story 1 where they're like butting
You're
heads and
the hot
arguing and
new.
fighting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like constantly
Um,
fighting and stuff. It's the one thing I did like about what I was thinking about, having seen all these movies is that besides like Toy Story 1 essentially where you have Sid next door, but and I guess Big Al a little bit in Toy Story 2, but the villain in the Toy Story series, I feel like has always been toys. Like other toys of like especially in the later ones where it's like Lotso in 3, spoiler alert. Uh there's like the weird little Gabby doll, I want to say is what her name is or something in Toy Story 4.
well, not just that. I mean, even go back to Toy Story 2.
Well,
Prospector
yeah,
Pete.
Prospector Pete, but
Stinky
Big
Pete.
Al has him. Yeah, Stinky Pete the Prospector. Yeah, that's what we call Callum. I always call him Stinky Pete. Uh, but yeah, like I always liked that. Like the villain it's not never really humans.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that adds to it because then there's always this human element to the movie with the toys. Like they want to be played with, they want to be a part of these people's lives. And for instance in this one, like Jessie wants Blaze and Bonnie, like she just wants Bonnie to make a friend, and like she sees Blaze and she's like, she's perfect, like they would be perfect friends, they're both creative and play well together. Or like I'm thinking of
I don't know. Those kids in the dance class, they were villains.
they kind of sucked. But like Toy Story 3, Ben, sorry if I'm gonna talk about it, it's over 16 years old at this point. But they like at the
Spoilers.
at the end of the movie, they head towards this incinerator, and like they all like lock hands and like reach out and like touch one another and have this human touch, like as like there's this life threatening thing going on, and it's like such a human element to these toys.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think the other thing that's kind of humanizing as I get older is the voices themselves.
Have gotten older.
Like, man, It's
Joan
gonna be.
Cusack's voice. I was like, man, she sounds old.
Well, I was just reading too where Tim Allen mentioned like
Having to,
during early
yeah.
recording sessions, someone was like, "You sound a little old,"
So you had to do like a voice
and so
coach or
yeah,
opera singer voice coach or something.
yeah, some sort of vocal training, and it was like, yeah, that's you think about the fact. Well, I didn't even realize looking back, I had saw and I'm gonna blank on his name, but you mentioned him up top with Blake Clark,
Yeah.
who I always remember from the Water Boy. He's the guy who. I always think of him from all the Adam Sandler movies, but namely The Water Boy, being Slinky, and I'm like, he's Slinky. And then in my mind, I'm like, has he always been Slinky? And then I had to go back and be like, no, wait a minute, Jim Varney from the Ernest movies was Slinky in the original.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay. And then it got me thinking, like, what other voice actors have changed? And then I was like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot that Don Rickles was the original Mr. Potato Head.
Mm.
And then Mrs. Potato Head, the actress is this. Oh, what was her name? Estelle. Oh, Estelle Harris. She passed away in 2022, which was, I mean, at that point, already after Toy Story 4 had come out. Um, but yeah, being like, as you start to see, I mean, let's be honest, Don Rickles was up there when he started
Yeah.
with the Toy Story movies. I mean, he was a famous comedian from the 60s, but man, when I read about Tim Allen, and then when it was like, for 73-year-old Tim Allen, and I was just like, ooh, oh, that hurts. That hurts a bit to think about the fact that he's 73 and be like, man, that one's tough. And then it's like, God, Tom Hanks is also
Old. I think about that with like
up
Jim
there.
Cummings, because some of them like do so many voices too. Like Jim
Oh
Cummings
yeah.
is Pooh and Tigger, which he did take
Mm-hmm.
it over at a certain point, but he's been Pooh and Tigger for so long. He's Pete. He's
Yeah.
like all of
I
these voices for Disney, and I'm just like, he's getting up there, man. Like,
and I will say the one thing that is going for it is like, although I was looking who took over for Mr. Potato Head was Jeff Bergman, who's been the voice of Bugs Bunny for a long time. Um, he took over for Fred Flintstone and a lot of other,
mm,
kind of
like
Hanna
iconic.
Barbera y and those types of characters. But it's like thinking about it. But then you're like, he was also born in 1960. It's not like it's not like they 30-year-old guy coming in and
Yeah.
starting this all over again. And it is one of those things where you're kind of like, yeah, you kind of wonder, what's going to happen with some of these characters as this stuff
Yeah.
keeps going. Will that be a thing where, um, yeah, is that going to be a thing that's going to come through where, kids growing up are going to have a different idea? Are they going to be able to sound enough alike? Or is it eventually going to be something where it's like, you know what? We don't have someone who sounds enough like Mel Blanc, so let's just let them do something different.
I didn't realize Bad Bunny was in there as Pizza with sunglasses.
Ah,
I
okay.
mean, he only has like 3 lines in the entire
Yeah.
movie, but uh, yeah, that was. I was like, wait, what? Bad Bunny, and then I looked. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Well,
That
it's interesting Combat Carl being in there
yeah.
cuz I saw something about that where they said Combat Carl was in the original Toy Story before he's blown up by Sid.
Mm.
Um And then I recognized him because my son he fell in love with Toy Story of Terror in November after Halloween. Tried to get him to watch it during Halloween, had no interest. After Halloween, loved it. And he was in Toy Story 4, voiced by Carl Weathers, rest in peace, and then was taken over by Ernie Hudson, which I was like, oh, that's cool. But I remembered him from all the other things, and I was like, oh yeah, Combat Carl. He's one of the toys that's forgotten when they find Smarty Pants. Like, oh, cool. So yeah, if you watch, if you dive into the shorts,
I do see here.
Appreciation.
I don't know if you saw this on the trivia that for Toy Story 4 they used unused archive recordings of Don Rickles for Toy Story 4 for Mr. Potato Head. So this was and Estelle Harris passed away 3 years after Toy Story 4. So this was the first one with Jeff Bergman and Anna Vocino.
Yeah.
Like in their respective roles. This is the first time you hear Jessie's pull string phrases in a movie. Interesting. I don't understand why, but this one was the first film in the franchise rated PG versus G. It says that at one point Lilypad pulls up a picture of the ocean and has just a still from Finding Nemo.
Huh.
Which I believe the director of this movie directed Finding Nemo. Andrew Stanton. I guess there's two directors, McKenna Harris and Andrew Stanton.
Yeah, but I think it said Andrew Stanton. Yeah, he was at least he was a writer.
Yeah.
Which he was a writer for Toy Story 5, for Finding Dory. Yeah, Toy Story 3, Wall-E, Nemo.
Well, he's also, I think he's the voice of Crush.
Director. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Well, so there was a video at some point.
He co-directed he's been with Disney Pixar for forever then.
Yeah. Well, the thing is so like, yeah, he's been with them forever, but like the thing was like, they were talking about, like you voice Crush and you voice somebody else. And they kind of basically said that like, when they're making the movies at Pixar, what they do is like they record the lines with somebody in house, and then sometimes like they just can't find a voice actor better or like that they want or whatever, and so then they're like, well, we just use that person and have them record the lines again, or so because I watched we watched The Incredibles not that too long ago, and like the director of The Incredibles does the voice
Brad
of
Bird.
Yeah,
Edna.
He's Edna Mode, and I was like, who is this voice actor? What? And then I was like, oh, it's just the director, which apparently he has something coming out soon, I think.
Brad Bird?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is it's like a noir animated.
Yeah, it's
film.
like his.
It's called Ray Gunn.
Yeah, it's like his pet project that he's been wanting to do for years.
Sounds cool. I love it. I love Brad Bird's work, and I've wanted him to do comic book movies for so freaking long.
Well, I mean, The Incredibles is.
But then he did several Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah.
So, like, I meant more like a live action, like full on live action comic book.
Yeah, because I read something. It was like it was like I guess after The Iron Giant, he had the chance to work with Disney, and he pitched that Ray Gun and The Incredibles. And they were like, yeah, we'll do The Incredibles. So then he's always wanted to do that.
Yeah, it's like a noir-y sci-fi. I saw something about it. It sounds really cool, and I think the cast looked really cool in it. But it was interesting. I saw it popped up on Instagram. It was, I think... I want to make sure I get the name right. Tara Strong. Yes, okay. I wanted to make sure this was the right voice actor.
Timmy
Tara
Turner?
Strong. Yeah, Timmy Turner, a bunch of other characters. But
Harley
she had
Quinn?
talked about like her favorite...
Or Barbara Gordon, I guess.
She was talking about like her favorite character she voiced.
Yeah.
And she was like, Ariel in the Little Mermaid. And they're like, really? And she's like, yeah, so they brought me in to do like she's like, a lot of times they'll bring in like a voice actor to do the first read so that the animators kind of have something to go off of while they're pitching it to a bigger celebrity or someone to come in and do it. She
Interesting.
goes, and then sometimes if they can't find anyone, they'll just let you keep it.
Yeah.
She's like, so they did that with me, and the hope is that either A, you get to keep it, which, you know, rarely happens, but it does happen, but B, a lot of the times, normally if you're good about working with the studio, they'll find you something else in that project or another project to at least keep you working. I was like,
Yeah.
huh, that's interesting. I never really thought of that. But like, yeah, it makes sense if you're, you know, just get the guy who wrote this thing, have him just do the voice, and then at least this gives the animator something to time up
Yeah.
the dialogue to, and then we'll have someone come in and re-record it. And actually, no, it's pretty good. Just leave it.
Well, I feel like that. Yeah, sometimes I feel like that might be the problem with that. Is like, oh, well, this is pretty good. This seems fine.
Yeah,
Like, you know.
yeah.
And then it's like, ah, shit. Well, maybe we should get somebody with a name to be on there. Especially like the Disney now. That's their thing. You know, everyone's like,
Oh, everything.
all the
Yeah.
voices are always like somebody big. So it's like, okay, well,
It is kind of a shame that, like, you know, the idea of like a Mel Blanc, I mean, even someone like Billy West, who's been around for forever doing voiceover stuff, and you're like, doesn't get movies anymore because we have to have, you know,
some big name. Yeah,
we have to
Zendaya
have
has to be the
we
voice
have
of
to
this.
have Timothy Chalamet, who no one's really gonna realize it's him unless we tell everyone it's him. But you know,
Look
he's
at
a big name, so we gotta make sure everyone knows.
Looking
he's
at
the
you, Chris
voice.
Pratt.
Looking at you, Dwayne Johnson.
He's fine. He's fine as Maui. Honestly, I think he's a good Maui. Now, is he a good Maui in the live action? He looks ridiculous with that curly ass hair. Let's be. I don't think I've ever seen The Rock have hair
It's like
in
a
my
real
whole life.
jabroni.
Yeah, and then I noticed. Oh yeah, okay, all right. Just because in the previews, I noticed they got Jermaine Clement again for fucking Timatoa the crab.
Yeah.
And Moana. I was like, I feel like they're just gonna go for his because he's iconic, I guess, voice.
I mean,
And he's animated anyways.
yeah, I was gonna say he's animated as it is. I don't know. I feel like at that point, why make it live action?
It's fucking Lion King. Like you just animated them to look real.
Yeah.
Okay. It's so they can keep the fucking licensing.
Yep.
But
Money.
Anywho,
Toy Story 5.
Anything else about Toy Story 5, Ben? I feel like we discussed the movie a little bit, but it was much of a review and vibes of the movie, of how it made us feel.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to sit and talk about the one. It's still out. It's fairly new. People will find it. I don't feel like I need to go through a whole plot synopsis of what happens. Like, yeah. Especially because I didn't go to see it for the plot of it. I went to see it for the nostalgia and the feeling of taking a kid to see his first movie, and you know, the most exciting point being that he got to tell his grandparents, "I got popcorn and pop at the movies."
Oh yeah,
you know,
we went to
how was the movies? I got popcorn. All right,
well,
man, cool.
Well, we had 2 free tickets from seeing the Easter Bunny. They had like, oh, if you buy a higher package, you get some free stuff with it or something. So
Grayson had a gift card we couldn't find, so we went to a different movie theater.
So we used that, and then we bought Isla's ticket or whatever, and then yeah, we got like they got the Toy Story 5 popcorn bucket.
Oh,
and then
we just did the standard.
Isla got to pick out
one.
Isla got to pick out a random candy, so she picked out Gushers. So like today at Costco, she was like, "Gosh, those are the things I got at the movie theater." I was like, "Yeah, those are
yeah, they sell those." I know.
Yeah.
My mom immediately asked, "Did you get a candy?" Grayson's like, "No," and he's looking at us. We're like, "You don't eat candy at the movies."
Yeah, we went at 10 a.m.
Quiet, Yaya.
we
I don't
had
want to
just
hear
ate.
it. I don't want to hear it, Mom. I never got to have candy at the movies. What type of bullshit are we on now?
Yeah, we had just ate breakfast. It's 10 a.m. Let's get a large popcorn and some Gushers.
I mean, to be honest, we went like right after lunch, and it was like, yeah, we're still gonna get a large popcorn and pop.
Well, yeah, Hannah was like, I'm gonna sneak in my latte. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm like, you're the worst kind of person. Like you're the person sneaking in a whole Taco Bell
Theaters
meal.
survive on concessions.
Yeah, that's where they get you. That's what it is.
I mean, it's where they literally make the money.
Yeah,
The
but they don't have to
theaters
charge me $14 for their 10-cent
I mean,
popcorn.
I get it, but the theaters don't make money by charging you $20 to see the fucking movie.
And people wonder why theaters are dead.
Yeah, everything's too expensive. Thanks, Obama.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm glad this was the first movie we went to with her. It was really a lovely experience.
I enjoyed it. You know what I will say, as someone who gets to go to the movies like once every maybe year-ish,
yeah,
I do love going to the movies.
It just I feel like it means more. Does that
Not
mean
just
like
that, but every time I go, I'm like, I see something and I'm like, I kind of want to see that.
Yeah.
And I'd love to go to the movies to see it. I really want to see that comedy movie. The I can't remember the girl's name. Something's Celebrity Sex Pass or whatever.
Oh my god, yes.
That one looks good.
That one looks ridiculous.
I saw a poster for a movie that literally was called like a Green Day comedy, and it was Nimrod.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't even see a trailer for it, but I want to see it. Looks cool. Grayson wants to go see Minions and Monsters, and I'm like, I'm kind of game, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually I watched the preview for that. I'm not like a crazy Minions guy, but like
I don't really care for Minions at all, but the trailer came on during the movie, and I was like, I'd take him to go see that. I'd go sit through that.
It looks ridiculous. It's also got like Cthulhu monsters and shit. So
yeah, voiced by Trey Parker, because he wanted to do something his kids could watch. It's not South Park.
But yeah. Well.
Let's go ahead and get this rated.
I was gonna say,
some Chell to play.
Two sentimental dads who just took their kids to the movies for the first time are gonna give you their first ratings of Toy Story 5. There's no emotional
men. 2 30-year-old men are gonna rate a kids movie.
There's no emotional weight to these ratings whatsoever. So
I'm rating this strictly as if I'm grading it as a school project and as an animated feature.
So you're gonna get 2 fresh ratings on Toy Story 5. Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
Yeah, I can go first.
All right.
Yeah, so like we said, this is obviously a taking your kids to their first movie experience. So that definitely does weigh in. I will be 100% honest. If my son were a little shit during this movie, they would probably have a lower rating. He was really well behaved. He loved it. He had a great time. Definitely sways my opinion on it. Look, is it the tour de force of all Toy Story films? I don't think so. I'll be honest. As someone who never even saw the third one of those people, I kind of agree with Quentin Tarantino. You made the perfect trilogy. That being said, I still loved it. Thought it was great. I don't know. I think I'd agree with a lot of the scores we saw going in, which had it like a 7 out of 10-ish in that ballpark. I'd agree with that. I thought it was great. If you have kids, take them to go see it. It's fun. I think what I love about this movie too is that like your kids need to have a baseline understanding of who the characters are, but like you could show them. Grayson learned who Buzz, Woody, Jessie, and them were from watching Toy Story of Terror on Disney Plus, the 20-minute short. He's not really watched the other Toy Story movies, and you know what? Not once was he like, I don't understand who this guy is.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. You can even kids can kind of pick up on it enough without needing to know everything, which I think is great for a movie that's number 5 in a series. that a kid can kind of go into it as their first movie and still enjoy it and understand most of it. So yeah, I think a 7 out of 10 is completely fair. It's great. If you have kids, I recommend it. Um, it gives me hope that seeing kids movies won't be as bad as like what my dad described, where it was just like every kids movie I went to was just an expensive nap for me.
I think it depends on the type of movie you're watching, I guess.
My dad, one, I remember going to see Pokemon
Oh,
2000.
my dad
He
talks
was,
about that one all the time.
I don't think he made it through the whatever. And then my dad was like, and then Harry Potter, he's like, I don't know, I fell asleep when he was living under the stairs. I was like, that's the first 5 minutes of the movie. We went to this movie at like 10 a.m. Why were you asleep?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we watch a lot of Disney stuff, with we do like pizza movie nights every Friday, so like we either make pizza or like buy it or whatever, and then we like rotate who picks the movie and whatever. So, um
I can't wait for next week's selection of John Wick. I'm just gonna love it.
I am usually the dark horse wild pick though. We did God, I did Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit. My last pick was My Neighbor Totoro,
Okay.
which was fitting though because in Toy Story 3, Bonnie, when she's first introduced, has a Totoro toy.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is in this one at all, but that was very fitting. Because then we were watching it and I was like, wait, Isla, look, there's Totoro. It's the rabbit guy from the movie we watched. She's like, whoa. But yeah, so like we always watch those movies and I enjoy them too. Like it's I guess it's just the watching the joy on my kid's face kind of thing where it's like it could be a terrible movie, but if they're liking it, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen 1, 2, 3, and parts of 4. I haven't seen 4 lately, and I've seen them multiple times since Isla's been born because Hannah and Isla watched them all when they had like COVID one time. They like watched all the Toy Stories, and then when Isla was first born, we watched a bunch of Disney movies back to back to back to back. So, yeah. So I know the emotional stronghold that this series has on me as someone who grew up with the first two, which aren't as emotional in my eyes. But damn, 3 through 5, they know their audience. They're like, hey, we're coming for you millennials who watched these when you were a kid. So going into this one, I was fully prepared, and then as it starts getting into the storyline, and you're like, oh damn, like Bonnie's growing out of them, and Jessie's like going through this for like the third time now, and then yeah, like we talked about when like Jessie sees the note that like Emily, and she's got to go back to Emily's house and all this, and you're just like, they're about to fuck me up, man. Like, but yeah, like we said, the animation is amazing. This like classic Toy Story like emotion and heart to their movies. The tech versus toy storyline that's topical and it is done pretty well. Like at the end, it's like, well, tech's not really the villain because even at the end, when Blaze and Bonnie are playing and after they like do the wedding and stuff, they're outside and there's the kids across the street and they're like, what are you guys doing? They're like, we're honeymooning. Can we join? And so then they like come over to come play with the toy, so it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's not like, it's not necessarily the villain, but, I knew going in that it was going to be a Jessie movie, but I like we said at the beginning, I do feel like Woody just shows up because it's a Toy Story movie. They were like, hey guys, we really got to add Woody to this. Because yeah, like him and Buzz arguing the whole movie, I was kind of like, all right, come on guys, we can work together. You both can be the deputy. Like it's all right.
Yeah, are we still doing this?
And then the whole like Buzz high-tech Buzz storyline was just kind of out of whack, and it was funny, but it's just a means to this escape at the end. Like it was really just a whole wild storyline just for this. But yeah, still good. I laughed, I cried. Smarty Pants is amazing. He kind of stole the show, I feel like. I mean, Jessie's obviously the star, but Smarty Pants, just almost everything he did was so funny. Like when they're even in like a serious scene, and they're like, "We've got to do our duty." Haha, you said duty. And you're like, come on now. Really? Toilet humor at a time like this? But I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this one. And having seen I've seen 3 and parts of 4, so like I'm excited to see, and I think supposedly they're going to maybe do a 6th one to like round out the Bonnie trilogy. Is what like the rumors are. So I'll be excited to see like what happens with that. But yeah, I think it's really well done. And if you have kids, take them to see it because they'll love it. I feel like Toy Story is just that like innocent, easy thing that like kids just love, and you don't really have to worry about it. And I feel like sometimes in movies, and especially this one, like Toy Story 3 has the scene at the very end where they like almost get burnt, but like this one doesn't really have that many like thrilling scenes.
It's not very high
like danger,
stakes.
yeah, like super dangerous.
Even like the them getting to Lilypad, and then it's like, oh, well, we're in trouble now because the truck's moving.
Yeah,
and it literally lasted like 2 seconds before it was like, oh, we can just use the Buzz Lightyears as drones.
Yeah,
It was like, oh, this lasted all of 2 seconds before it was like, oh, here's the instant solution we have.
Yeah, which was good though, because I would rather, as a parent,
oh yeah,
as like we like fast forward through the spooky like intense stuff. Like watching Toy Story 3, I was like, can we skip this part? So I was glad in the scene in the theater where I don't have control over it that the movie was pretty like chill and didn't have any of that like super high intense stuff, and because then I'm like, all right, shield your eyes, like come here, like you're good,
yeah.
But yeah, 8 out of 10. I recommend it. It was good. If you've seen the other ones and you want to fucking cry, like get up in there, dude. It's feel good movie, feel bad movie. I don't know, like happy tears, I guess. But yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, we have no idea. We have not discussed a double feature for this, so we'll figure out what's related to this. But
this was a, hey, did you go see this with your kids? Yeah, I did. Did you? Yeah, let's talk about it on a microphone. Cool. All right.
But yeah, so we'll figure out what happens next. But if you enjoyed this, please don't forget to rate and subscribe. Check us out wherever you listen, or check us out next time. Share us with your friends and family. Leave a review wherever you listen because that really helps us out. And as always, watch responsibly.